I'm Dr. Joshua Houston. It's my pleasure to bring these sermons and Bible lessons to you from the Salem Creek Church of Christ in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I hope today's lesson is a blessing to you. Now open your Bible, open your heart, and let's dive into the Word together. Biblical truth, practical wisdom, faithful teaching. That's deeper in the Word.
Ready? Well, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 questions that people submitted. So we're doing a Deeper in the Word AMA, so ask us anything, and people submitted these questions. Either they texted it to me or sent it on Facebook. I guess I should say, because this is like the first time that I've done a podcast where it's not video, so I guess I should say who I'm here with. So Kayla is joining me for this episode. Kayla, do you want to say anything about yourself? I think most people listening to this probably know you.
I mean, I'm married to you.
That's probably not the best thing you could say about it.
I've never done a podcast before.
Yeah, you have. You were.
I mean, not really. I wasn't like the star of it. I was just kind of in the background.
No, you did one with me and Nathan and Chelsea, and then you did.
No, I don't think Chelsea was a part of it.
Yes, she was. It was you and Chelsea and the other the youth
me and
minister
Chelsea didn't say much.
No, but then you did one. It wasn't really a podcast, but you did a video for me when I was teaching Christian ethics on abortion. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
or not.
I do, but I feel like I didn't say much.
You did.
Like it wasn't like a one-on-one thing.
Yeah, it was me and you.
Yeah, and Nathan.
Not for that one. This one was just me and you for the Christian ethics class that I teach at Faulkner.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think that video now, because it's public on YouTube for all my students to see it, I think it had like 500 views.
How embarrassing.
No, it's good. Because what you said was good.
I hope so.
Yeah,
You never know what you're going to say. I have stage fright.
No, I think you're fine. So we're going to go through these questions, and there's a lot to get through. But
that's fine.
Some of them, I don't know, it's funny. Some of them are very like theological, obviously directed at me, I guess, as the preacher.
I could try to chime in.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
Because people want to hear your thoughts.
We finally were able to do this. We finally got the baby to bed.
Yeah, no joke. Golly, today has been... So, I keep Emmy now 1 day a week at home.
So I work 3 days a week.
Yeah.
At my job, at my surgery center.
Yeah.
And Joshua keeps her 1 day, and then my
For
mom...
now.
For now. And then my mom keeps her 2 days, because your mom was keeping her 2 days, but... As many of you know, Linda Gale had her surgery on her hip.
Yep.
So, for obvious reasons, she can't take care of Emmy.
Yep.
So, my mom graciously, thank you, Mom, shout out, taking care of Emmy for 2 days, a week, so I can go to work for 3 days.
Yeah. And shout out to the elders at Salem Creek for letting me stay home. And I do try to work from home. It's really, really hard to work when you have a 9-month-old screaming or climbing everywhere and all that stuff, which I'm not saying anything nobody else doesn't know, because I think most people have been through this before too. But I actually got work done today, though. I got some lessons made. And
I was at work today.
Yeah. So Emmy, though, God love her, has had not the greatest day. The poor thing, she's teething. She's very fussy.
She's had double ear infection the past month and a half.
Yep,
Most
likely from teething.
Yeah, she just finished her 3rd round of antibiotics. This is the 3rd one, and she has her 9-month visit this Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm just having my fingers crossed that everything looks okay, because if she still has ear infection, she'll have to have the ear tubes, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, but worse things can happen.
Oh, yeah, I can, but I'm just like, oh.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm being selfish, but you haven't lived until you've changed a dirty diaper of a baby that's been on antibiotics. High-powered antibiotics.
It's stanky.
Yeah. Okay, so some of these questions are like theological Bible questions. The other are about us, like our marriage, our relationship, and advice that we would give. And there might be a few parenting ones in here, but I don't know. And then there's ones for us individually about each other, and those are the ones that I'm nervous about. Mm-hmm. All right, so I guess we'll just start at the top and work our way down. The first question, and I'm not going to say who all these questions come from, but the first one comes from your mom, and we need background here because your mom is reading my commentary on Genesis, and she asked me if we would talk about why God allowed men to have concubines in the Old Testament. So, like in the book of Genesis, concubines come up. Abraham had concubines. David had concubines. Solomon had concubines. All throughout the Old Testament. But then when you get to New Testament, we don't read about anyone really having concubines. So she wants to know, why did God allow men to have concubines, and when did it stop? So do you want to chime in on that first, or do you want me to go?
So say that again.
Why did God allow for men to have concubines, and when did it stop?
Well, he allowed men to have concubines, but he didn't like it. I mean, he made that pretty clear.
Yeah.
So enlighten me. I've never really thought about it.
Okay, so there's a couple of ways of thinking about this. The first time you see a polygamous marriage is in the line of Cain in Genesis 4 after Cain kills Abel. So I believe that when you look at the line of Cain and see some of the things that comes out of that line, you see the formation of cities, polygamy, the development of instrumental music, which I would consider entertainment, and then the development of like weapons. So all of that comes out of the line of Cain, and it's in juxtaposition to the line of Seth, which is the righteous line. So I mean, I don't know. I think the older I get, the more I think those things, I don't know how I would say this. Like, cities aren't inherently evil, but the city life mentality certainly can be. Weapons as a form of power, entertainment, when you give too much attention to entertainment, and then lust, which is polygamy. So that's where it starts. God never commands for thou shalt have multiple wives. Just because God allows something doesn't mean that he liked it. Polygamy, we often look at it and we're like, well, there's polygamy in the Old Testament, so it must have been something that God approved of. No, the only people who were really polygamist in the Old Testament were people who could afford it, which was kings, usually. So it wasn't a common occurrence. It wasn't nearly as common as we like to think it was.
So can you think, not to put you on the spot, but could you think a specific passage in the Bible where it states or implies that why God allowed these people to do this? Or, I mean, I guess God doesn't like allow it because we have free will, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, Genesis 2:24 is the preeminent passage on marriage, that a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and Jesus uses that in Matthew 19 to speak of monogamy, one man, one woman for life. Yeah. That's the ideal. It's not always the ideal that works out, but it is the ideal that God wanted. So there are laws in the law of Moses. I can't point you to book, chapter, and verse right now, but there are laws that talk about how a man... Well, here's a good example. Okay, I can't point you to a verse. Exodus 21, verse 10 talks about... You don't have to look it up. I'm going to tell you what it says. It's about a slave woman. It's the laws concerning slaves. If a man marries a slave woman, and then he decides to take another wife, so there's polygamy, and he neglects the first wife in matters of food, clothing, or marital relations, she has the right to divorce him. So that gives a slave woman, which would be like the lowest of the low in the classes of Israel, the right to divorce. And it's all a matter of polygamy. Now, to your mom's question, the second part, when did it stop? You do kind of see in the post-exilic period.
It still goes on right now.
It does, but I mean, in biblical history with Israel, you see in the post-exilic period a cessation of concubines because people couldn't afford it. And in the time of Jesus, virtually no one was polygamous. You might have a few who, like really wealthy people who are polygamous. I mean, I think some of the Roman emperors were, but it's very uncommon. Most people were monogamous. The rabbis in the days of Jesus had these various laws that, like, if you couldn't produce 2 children, you should get divorced because the Bible says be fruitful and multiply. So they were very strict on their marriage laws.
I think, like, that's a really good question because I've never really thought about it before, because I know I've seen people talk about on the internet, like, men, I guess that's just, everybody, but I'm just going to use men as an example, using that, in the Bible to be promiscuous with women.
Yeah.
Saying, like, oh, well, in the Bible, they allowed one man to sleep with multiple women, so why can't I? So, like, I think it's good to equip yourself of, like, well, they would say, like, well, why did God allow that?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that before. I've seen people say that, like, get on these, like, whatever podcasts, and they say, well, I can have multiple women because, in the Bible, God allowed, people to have concubines and multiple wives, so why can't I?
Well, there's a lot of things.
They use that as a threat to be promiscuous.
Yeah, there's a lot of things God allows. God allowed the Twin Towers to fall.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Right. That doesn't mean that God approved of it.
Right.
So I think your original point is very, very good about how we have free will, and I think my original point that polygamy comes and the breaking of Genesis 2:24 comes in the line of Cain. Like, it comes through the evil, so to speak, line in Scripture. So, yeah, there you go. There's question 1.
Good job, Mom.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at question number 2. These are in no particular order. Janice Ham wants to know if we think that Emmy needs a sibling.
Of course she does. We can't tell you when.
Yeah,
I'll say right now in front of the whole internet that I am not ready for another child.
No, me either.
So whoever is thinking that it'll happen soon, just chill out, because it won't.
I mean, anything could happen, but
absolutely, it's but.
Okay, I'll tell you this. Tonight when we were getting Emmy ready for bed, she always does this. She always screams her head off while we're putting pajamas on and diaper changes and all that. And I thought, if we had another one of these things right now,
oh my word,
I would jump off a cliff head first into a pile of thorns.
I jump into traffic.
Yeah.
I
It's
love babies. I love her, but she has to be at least walking and talking a little.
Yeah.
But she's still under a year old, and I don't want 2 under 2.
What's the name of that comedian that you like to watch?
Which one?
Trey Kennedy.
I like Trey Kennedy. A lot of people hate on him, but I think he's so funny.
He is funny, but
I think he's funny. I like his skits.
Trey Kennedy had a joke where he said, how in as Christians we say, love the sinner, hate the sin. Said, I think he has a son. He's like, I love my son with all my heart. I would die for my son, but I hate the baby. And I think that really sums up the relationship that we have with infancy. I love Emmy with all my heart, but I hate the baby stage.
That's really true. I mean, you soak it up, but like...
Yeah, I don't want to wish her life away.
They always say, like, oh, it'll get better at 3 months. It'll get better at 6 months. And then I just remember this one nurse told me, and it just really just stuck with me. She said, look, the first year is just rough. She was like, the first year is...
Well, I know everybody listening to this is like, oh, well, wait till they're teenagers and wait till they're in college and wait till they have kids.
But this is our moment. This is what we're living in, our moment.
Yeah. Well, I think I've come to the conclusion, because I'm a natural pessimist, I've come to the conclusion that the entire time frame of being a parent has its highs and lows, and you just take every day for what it is, and everybody else can hush. As
many of you know, she did have colic, and
she had colic for 6 months straight.
Did. It was really rough. If y'all that go to our church, if y'all remember me going out literally 15 times during the service because she wouldn't stop screaming. It was like that for
this is how bad it was.
Months.
Like, we don't want this podcast to be us griping about our child, but this is how bad it was for several months. You would drive separately, and still every now and then you do. But you would drive separately. So
I would drive around those neighborhoods for 30 minutes to try to get her to go to sleep.
You would come in about 5 minutes after we start.
Oh, yeah.
You would stand in the back. She would start screaming her head off, and you would leave. and take her
I
home.
wouldn't have a choice. I would.
Yeah, there's no choice.
I cannot tell y'all how many times I have circled that building with that baby to try to get her to chill out.
Yep. Yep.
I know a lot of y'all remember me like just bouncing her around in the foyer and like her just screaming her head off. It's a lot better now. She's getting I think what's really helped her is that she wants to go and she gets frustrated. So now that she's crawling and now that she's trying to stand up, she's not as near as fussy as she was.
Well, the joke that we have is really not a joke, it's the truth, is she is equal parts me and equal parts you. She has your easy ability to be distracted, and she has my determination, and if she can't do something right the first time, she loses it. She blows up. That's straight up me.
That's her.
100%. Yep. All right, ready for the next question?
Yep.
Can a Christian be involved in politics? Marvin asked.
100% they can.
Yeah.
I think.
Next question.
I mean, I think this is just what I think. I know so many people disagree with it, with politics and church, and that's fine. We live in a free country. You can
Into the mic, please.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it's really important, like, especially in this day and age now, because there's so much darkness now. And, of course, all of y'all seen the murder of Charlie Kirk last week. And he was just murdered for just his beliefs. And it just shows and then people are laughing at it. It just shows the darkness. So,
and I'll give you the other side of that coin. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm agreeing with you. But a few months ago, there were a bunch of lawmakers in Minnesota who were killed, and they were Democrats.
Yeah, there's been several people.
But they were Democrats, and they were killed. And
it's on both sides.
That's exactly right. It is on both sides.
I'm gonna condemn both people because both of them have tried to kill people of the opposite viewpoints. Yeah. But I do think there's a fine line. Like I was raised by my dad, and my dad is very political, so therefore I love to listen to politics. I just do. I mean, I don't argue with people about politics, but I just love to listen to politics, and that drives Joshua insane because I listen to all the people, and he's always just rolling his eyes like, "Why are you listening to that?" And but I think there's a fine line that if you make politics though like your entire being, like that's a problem. Like if you make the United States your church, and not the Lord's church your church, that's a problem. Because you see some people that literally make, like they've got the Fox News going 24/7, or they're constantly listening to it, and they're constantly thinking about it, and I think that's a problem.
It is. It's a huge problem. I think
if you make America your church and not Jesus' church is your church, I think that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let me give some feedback from Scripture as far as can a Christian be involved in politics. Well, I wrote my doctoral dissertation on Egypt and the Exodus, but I went back to Joseph. And Joseph, he was sold into slavery in Egypt, but he became second in the kingdom. Like, he wasn't second in the kingdom because he was an Egyptian. He became that. And then Daniel the same way. Daniel became second in the kingdom because he became that. And I was talking to you about this yesterday. I wish I had a way to pull it up and show a picture of it. I don't know if I do or not. There's a guy in the book of Acts named Erastus, and we have an inscription, the Erastus inscription. And most people believe that Erastus was a politician who was elected to that office. And if that's the case, he was a Christian. And if that's the case, then you have an example in Scripture of a Christian being elected to a political office. Now, people are coming out now saying that the Erastus inscription wasn't exactly what we thought it was. I don't buy that. There's not enough evidence to say that it's not. But what I struggle with, and I'm with you 100%, I think there has to be a balance. But what I struggle with is the call in 1 Thessalonians 4 to live a quiet life, to mind your business, and to work with your hands. Romans 13, be in submission to the government so you can live a quiet and peaceful life. But also be the city set on a hill and be the salt of the earth. and stand up for your conviction. Like Paul says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. Paul didn't let the politics of his day tell him he couldn't preach. So I think the balance is, if the best sermon you can preach is how you live your life, that's kind of what you have to do. So I don't know, I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, I think if you're okay, here's two things, and then I'll quit, and you can say something else if you want. But first, Christians have to realize you cannot legislate morality. It's impossible. You can make laws that uphold morality, but people either are going to break the law, or there are going to be things that are legal that are immoral. Adultery is legal in all 50 states, but it's very immoral. So you can't legislate morality. But it is better, I think, to have someone with a Christian worldview making legislation, so that the heinous immoral things like abortion, transgender, gay rights,
and I think
that those can be
our
mitigated
freedom of
in our
worship.
culture. Yeah, for sure.
You see other civilizations that had this mindset of like separation of church and state, and they can't worship. You see all these different countries that I think, we live in such a privileged country. And I'll say privileged. Everyone in this country is privileged to be here.
Yeah.
And I think we do need to fight for our religious freedom.
Well, you have to shine where you're landed.
Right.
You have to grow where you're planted. I guess that's a better way to think about it. And there are people in this world who are great politicians. Like, we have a family friend, and I say we being myself, my dad. This isn't trying to be a campaign for him, but we have a family friend who is a member of the church who's running for governor. And I sure hope he gets it. He's a great politician. He served in the Senate, House of Representatives, something like that. He served in Congress for several years, and he's a conservative guy, good Christian man. His wife actually was a pretty good friend of mine when I was in high school. So I'm going to vote for him. So, he's been planted there, but other people don't have that gift and talent. Well, you can shine your light wherever you are.
True. But yeah, that's the answer to the question is yes, I think.
Yeah, there's nothing in Scripture that forbids someone from being in politics.
It says in many scriptures that that God is the governing authority, and that we're supposed to submit to the government. You see many things like that speak about government. So I don't think it's wrong to be a part of government.
You know what's crazy? Like, I hate to keep talking about this. I guess we need to move on. But David Lipscomb wrote a book that we had to read in our doctoral program called On Civil Government. Mm-hmm. And his argument was, if man never fell, so if you never had the fall in Genesis 3, then man would never need government.
Didn't your professor give a presentation about this?
Yeah, you were with me. David Hester gave...
He gave and how he was wrong.
Yeah, how he disagreed with Lipscomb's...
How he... Yeah. David, he was a great guy. We're not bashing David Lipscomb, no. But he had some views that weren't... Well,
see, I definitely disagree with Lipscomb's view because, taking politics... politics comes from the Greek word polis, which means city. Politics is just how to run a city or how to run a unit.
Yeah.
Right? Well, when Adam and Eve sinned, Eve took of the fruit and ate of it, gave it to Adam who was with her. When God comes, he doesn't find Eve, he finds Adam. Adam was in charge. So you have a hierarchical step there in Genesis.
Right.
So you have technically a governmental, framework in Genesis 2 and 3. So there you have it. Good deal. I'm glad we're solving the problems of the world.
Hope that was a good answer.
I think it was. It was good enough. All right. Oh, you're going to love this one. What's better, Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Okay. So me and Joshua would disagree on this very much, but really it's just difference of opinion. So I really like Harry Potter. I'm a really, really big Harry Potter fan. I loved the books when I was a kid, and I loved the movies. Although I've tried for many years to get into Lord of the Rings, and I just cannot get into it.
The reason you
I've
can't
tried.
get into it is because you keep trying to watch the movies, but knowing you need to read the books.
I know.
You're just not into the movies, and the movies leave a
I
bunch
just
out.
can't
I know everybody says
I
that.
can't get into like the elves and the hobbits.
But you can get into witches and
the
wizards and
Gandalf.
goblins and dragons. That's all in Harry Potter.
Yeah, but it's like modernized. It's not like it's not like, I don't know. It's like the main character is a hobbit with huge bare feet.
Well, the main character in Harry Potter is a kid.
Yeah,
And the evil guy just keeps trying to attack the school.
I know. Trying to, what's the word?
I don't know. Pursue for the good.
Yeah. Trying to defeat darkness. He's trying to defeat darkness.
Well,
what we should be doing.
In Lord of the Rings, Frodo and Bilbo and all of them are trying to defeat the ultimate picture
I'm not
of...
bashing Lord of the Rings. See, he gets really defensive when I say I don't like Lord of the Rings because he loves Lord of the Rings. But I just can't, I don't know. If someone wants to help me out... If someone wants to give me a suggestion of how to get into Lord of the Rings.
Let me say this about Lord of the Rings. I had never seen Lord of the Rings, didn't know anything about it until I was in college. And John Smith, who was my roommate for 3 years, introduced me to Lord of the Rings. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was that great of it. They're incredible. Like, each movie's 3 hours or longer.
Yeah.
Like, they're incredibly long. And that's for the non-extended edition or whatever. It wasn't until I got into graduate school and started, like, researching literature, like good literature that has a plot, that has all these different representations of things. Like Tolkien, love him or hate him, the dude was a devout Catholic, and everything he wrote had to do with spiritual matters. So you read Lord of the Rings, and it's like the Bible on steroids.
Yeah.
In a fiction fantasy kind of way.
So they're both geniuses.
I would not say...
They're both literary geniuses.
I would not put...
Yes, she is.
What's her name?
J.K. Rowling.
Rowling.
Yes, she
They're
is.
all initials in a last name.
She is... I think she is a literary genius.
I think she's fine.
The books
she's
are
great.
beautiful. They're nothing like the movies.
Okay.
They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
They are. The story is just incredible.
We were talking about
this whole world.
We were talking about this yesterday. My opinion is Lord of the Rings is number 1. The Chronicles of Narnia series is number 2.
Okay, I've never read those.
The books are fantastic, but when you read them, you have to remember that they're made for kids, like 10-year-olds. So you have to read it as a 10-year-old, which I'm very good at doing because I'm an idiot.
Well, Harry Potter's for kids too.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings is technically for kids, but I think you need a doctorate to get through them all. So yeah, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, and then Harry Potter's number 3, I think.
Did this person know that we've had this struggle for like years about which one was better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
I do think that this person...
Because this has been an ongoing discussion of me and Josh was for a long time now.
I'm trying to remember who submitted the question. I can't remember, but I do think it was someone who... Because this has come up recently, because I've quoted Lord of the Rings multiple times in sermons lately.
Yeah.
And people now know that you don't share my love for Lord of the Rings.
Okay, if someone wants to suggest to me how to like Lord of the Rings, and I'm very open. I'm open to this.
Start by reading the books.
I know. I'm reading other stuff right now.
Me too, and I wish I was, and I hate the book I'm reading now.
Joshua has to force himself to read because Joshua does not like to read. He's said that multiple times, but I've always have liked to read. I get that from my dad.
I'm starting to like it more now. I mean, I still love watching movies and TV shows.
Yeah, Joshua is a big movie.
I love TV.
He loves movies.
But now, before I go to bed, I try to read at least a chapter of a book. So I think my problem is I can't just sit down and do something with no end. Like, I have to have a goal in mind. So to read, I have to be like, I'm going to read a chapter today, I'll read a chapter tomorrow, or I'll get to this subheading or whatever. But as much as I hate to read books, I really like to write them, which is really weird.
Well, no, I mean, there's a difference.
There is a difference. There's a huge difference.
Between writing and reading.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's like in unity together, but I think they're both separate.
Well, I do. I love writing books. I will say I hate proofreading. my
You
books.
don't like to edit.
I do not like to
You
edit.
don't like editing.
But I'm very good at it.
Yeah.
Next. Who's the better cook?
It depends on what we're cooking.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't grill a steak to save my life. And
I can't either.
Like,
Tonight was proof
had.
of that.
Well, that's what we had for dinner tonight is Joshua grilled steaks, and they were very
They were
phenomenal.
fine. They weren't the greatest, but they
They
were fine.
were very good. Now, Joshua's also really good at making cheese and chicken quesadillas. That's like his thing. He loves quesadillas.
No, this is my thing. I'm good at making the sad single guy meals. Like quesadillas.
No, I think of that being like a bowl of cereal. Like,
I mean, I'm pretty dang good at making a bowl of cereal, too.
Yeah, but you actually cook.
You know how long it's been since I've had cereal?
It's been a long time because we're on this diet.
We've been married for almost 7 years. I am pretty sure I haven't had a bowl of cereal since the first month we got married.
It just hits different.
I don't know. I'm not a big cereal
So
person.
good. Well, I'll tell you what I'm good at making. I think I'm really, really good at making soups and sauces.
I would agree
That's
with
one thing
that.
I do pride myself in is I make some pretty good soups.
Yeah. I'll speak for you
And
on
dips.
that because I hate soup. I
I
think
love some soup.
soup
It's
is a
part of my
waste.
feminine energy.
I think soup is a waste. See, I need masculine energy. I need
Yeah.
meat and potatoes.
It's girl food.
It is. But you make the absolute best chicken noodle soup I've ever had
I
in my
love my
life. And
chicken
taco
noodle
soup.
I made
and
white chicken chili for Linda Gill. I thought
It was really good.
I didn't add all the spices in it because I didn't want to. Because your mom's on all that medicine, I
Yeah.
didn't want to like upset her stomach or anything. But it would
was
have been
good.
a lot better if I added some more spices.
My only bugaboo with that white chicken chili was the onions. I just despise an onion.
See, I'm not very particular about my food. Like there's probably like a handful of things that I cannot eat. But Joshua, on the other hand, is very particular about. I mean, this isn't a secret. He hates onions. You cannot have any type of onion. He can't have any type of carb because you know on his diet. So there's no potatoes, no rice at all.
Yeah.
He won't do that. There's so many things. He won't do certain like sauces. He hates sauce.
I'm coming around to sauce though.
I love some sauce.
I'm
I'm a saucy girl.
Yeah.
I love sauce.
I don't know. When it comes to meat, I don't want sauce because I want my meat to like be flavorful. One exception might be wings if it's a good sauce. I do love wings.
Joshua just loves meat. Like he
Yeah.
is like a carnivore caveman. Like give him like a big old tomahawk steak with no other sides.
I really don't
and
think
he is happy.
I really don't think there's any kind of meat that I don't like.
There is.
Like, I've been trying to think about
I've never
this.
seen you eat. I've never seen you turn down a piece of meat, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I
if
really
it's from
don't.
the ocean, if it's from the land, if it's
Yeah.
from the sky, Joshua will eat.
Yep.
Like his dream meal, I think, would be just a spread of like steak and like grilled chicken and scallops with butter and even like escargot. He eats bugs. Like he ate a bug. Like when we were on our cruise,
They were so
last
good.
year,
They were
and
so
he ate
good.
escargot. He ate these snails, and he just slobbered them down.
They tasted
And-
like mushrooms. They were really good.
See, and that's there's a line for me, but that would be, I think, Joshua's vision of heaven when the Lord says there will be a feast. His feast will be literally just meat.
Jesus said, "Rise, Peter, kill and eat."
Yeah.
And I just take that to heart. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to us as a couple? You had a good story about this.
Oh yeah, I thought about what I can think of like several things that have happened to us over the years, but never like happened to like both of us simultaneously. And then I thought about something the other day. So it was several years ago. It was back like in 2022, I think, and we were going to Denver, Colorado for Joshua really wanted to go to one of his like scholarly conferences, and I have no clue what that even is, but you know, I don't care. I love to travel, so I went with him. And it was we were there for a whole week, and this was our free day. It was a Friday, and we just got back from touring the Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah, it was our last day there.
Yeah, it was our last day there before our flight the next morning.
Right.
And, like, it was the most beautiful thing. Like, we saw, like, you know, multiple feet of snow covered the Rockies, and, like, there was no one there. And we walked through Estes Park, and it just felt like a Hallmark movie, and it was just so wonderful. Well, we get back around, what was it, like 6 p.m.?
Yeah, probably.
It was like 6 or 7 p.m. It was like dark outside, but it was like still kind of supper time. And we were staying in this Holiday Inn, like right in the middle of Smacktown, Denver. And we get to the elevator, and there was this sign. And what did the sign say? It said, like, there was a fire in their boiler room. It said, like, and then please see, like, you can't stay here overnight.
Yeah,
or
something like that. So we went to the front deck because I don't even remember what floor we were staying. We were on like the 6th floor.
It was like the
we
16th floor. It
Okay,
was
yeah, we were high up.
It was super high up.
But
This Holiday Inn.
we went to the counter and we're like, "Hey, what's up?" And they said
Yeah,
we had
because
a
there
fire.
was just a sign on the elevator.
They said we had a fire in our boiler room. Our heat is out and our plumbing is out. No one can stay here. We've made arrangements with another hotel. If you call them, tell them you're staying with us, they'll have a room ready for you, and the hotel is only about 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the road. Well, we didn't have a car or anything. We
were just
everywhere.
Ubering everywhere in downtown.
Now, fortunately, they let us go up to our room and get our stuff.
Yeah, they did, and it was so because they just said, "Yeah, sorry, like, you know, stinks to be you, but you can't stay here." And we were out, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
So while Kayla's packing, I'm calling the hotel. When you call hotels, you hardly ever get the front
Yeah,
desk.
you
get
have
like
some
an operator.
automated operator
Yeah.
living in like 2,000 miles away.
Yeah. So I finally got somebody. They said, "All right, Mr. Houston, we've got your room ready. Come on down." And so we started walking. So we walk in downtown Denver, which I don't know if any of you have ever been there, but the homeless population in Denver is really high,
Yes,
and it was kind of sketchy.
It's like 2 degrees.
Oh, it was freezing.
Because this was in November. It was
Yep.
like 2 degrees.
Yep.
And we have massive suitcases, and we could have been
Snow
smart.
and ice on the ground.
Yeah, we could have been smart and gotten an Uber, but according to the map, it said that we would get there in like 5 minutes. Well, we didn't know this 5 minutes was going like straight up a hill. And we were hiking in the Denver downtown in the snow, in the ice,
Yeah.
for like 2 miles carrying this luggage, and it was the most just. I can't believe we did it. Like,
Well, you and I at that point,
it was freezing.
this was long before Emmy came on the scene, but
Yeah, it was early.
But we would walk or run. At that time, we were running. We would run 2 miles every day. So walking 2 miles with luggage didn't seem that bad.
Yeah, so we were like, "Oh, we're not going to get an Uber. We don't want to pay the $10 to go a mile."
But you know what's nuts? We get to this hotel. They don't have our information.
Yeah, and then the guy, the manager, just acted like he had
Had
no idea.
Fortunately, they had a room. We were able to get the discount that we were told about.
Yeah,
so
because we
got
gave him
that.
this paper that the Holiday Inn gives.
Everything worked out, thankfully. God is good. We get up to the room. It was 100 times nicer than the
It
room we
was a
were
lot
in
nicer.
at the Holiday Inn. I wish we'd have stayed there for the entire time.
Yeah, it
It was
was
so
a
nice.
lot.
The bed was so comfortable.
Yeah, it was. We should have stayed there.
But we were there for one
It was
night.
like what, a Hilton Mainstay?
No, it was a.
I don't even remember what it was.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. Oh man, there's one. We stayed in one when it snowed here, and you were working at the hospital.
Was it our home rooms to go?
Rooms to go at the
What was it?
furniture
I
store.
don't even remember.
Golly, Home to Suites. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
something-
Home to
yeah.
Suites. Yeah, I
But
can't believe I remember that.
like now looking back on it, it's really funny. But
Yeah.
really, we should have gotten an Uber and we should have just eaten our pride, but we didn't because we didn't want to pay the $10
Well,
to
we would-
ride a mile.
No, it would be more than that. It would have cost us. We looked it up. It was going to cost like
It was
somewhere
a lot.
between $50 to $100 because we had to get an
'cause
XL.
we had all that luggage.
luggage.
Yeah, because we couldn't just get a regular Uber. Yeah, that's right.
But I will say about the Denver trip, our Uber drivers were pretty good. All of them were really
Yeah, they
cool.
were actually really nice and professional.
Hey, I tell you one,
In
it's
Denver.
it's funny now, I guess, kind of. But remember when we went to Denver? Denver, that's what we're talking about. When we went to Destin,
Oh
you
yeah,
and I
that
flew
was a
down,
lot shadier.
and we got in an Uber with this dude, and he was drunk.
Oh, yeah.
We could smell it.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
dropped. We were going to Longhorn because
He kept missing turns. They kept telling him, like, hey, you need to turn here.
We were going to Bonefish Grill because we had a gift card someone gave us, and the Bonefish Grill wasn't there anymore, and the dude was like, well, I can take you wherever you want to go. We're like, no, that's cool.
Like, no,
we'll
walk around.
We'll walk around.
Yeah, we will see this.
I'm just glad to get there alive.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Not great. All right, Rick. Next. I know what you're going to say about this, which is good. Where did it go? What are your thoughts on parents letting their kids be transgender? You're not a parent. That's my thought. You hate your kid.
Like, okay, so you mean like when your kid is still a kid and not like an adult?
When your kid is a kid. Yep. Your kid is a kid living under your roof. Like the story that you had the other day at the doctor's office.
Oh, yeah, that was super disturbing.
You should share that story. I mean, protect the innocent, but you should share
So
that
I have
story.
never seen this maybe some of y'all have, but I have never seen this like in Murfreesboro. But I was at the doctor's office because, like I said earlier, Emmy's been battling ear infections, so we've been going to the doctor a lot. So I was sitting in the doctor's office. It was like 9 a.m. one morning, and we were like the only ones in there besides like one other person, and I was just trying to keep her happy. And we were sitting right beside the information desk, and there was this mom and this kid that comes in, and I don't really like pay attention to him because I'm trying to keep Emmy from screaming her head off. And then I just kind of glance over because, your eyes just wander, when you're just in public, you're just looking around. So I just look around and I see this kid and he's wearing, or I say he, she, this kid is wearing a dress that's like a pastel stripe, like a vertical striped horizontal dress. And they're wearing sandals. And so I look down, and this kid has a bunch of hair on his leg. It's like blonde hair and like really fine hair, but there's a lot of hair. And the feet were really big, were really large. And I was like, that's kind of weird for a little girl. And then my eyes start to slowly go up, and I looked this kid in the face, and I said, there's no way that's a girl. This kid had a haircut like a regular boy's haircut. It was maybe to his eyebrows, kind of swooshed back, and like his face, it looked like Gatlin in a dress. Like you could definitely tell like that's a boy.
Gatlin is my 7-year-old nephew.
Sorry for that. He was the only example I could think of, and I just went, that is a little boy. And he was probably like 8 or 9 years old. I was like, that can't be a girl. That is a little boy. And I tried so hard not to bust out in tears. And the mom, of course, is wearing this yellow colored overalls with these bright red boots, and she's got this
it's like you
bright.
You don't want to stereotype people, but
I'm going to stereotype.
You judge a book by its cover, but when the cover is
so you look at her. She's wearing this bandana. She's got this
pretty obvious to be California transplants.
Piercings all over her face, tatted up.
Yeah,
and I was just like, don't tell me she did not tell that little boy that he was a girl.
Yeah.
There's no way. And I was just watching. It is. And I was just watching. And I was just like, I wonder what name they're going to call. Is it going to be a little boy name or a little girl name? And they called this little boy back. I'm going to call him a little boy because that's what I assumed he was. And they called him a girl name. And I just looked and I was like, oh my word. I am witnessing child abuse.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I just witnessed a child being abused. Because that's just humiliating. Because, it's maybe, I've been seeing a lot of people talk on the internet because that maybe, Gypsy Rose's mom, that was diagnosed with what was it, Munchausen's by proxy? Is that what it was? Where like you put that on your kid because you want them to be what you want to be.
Yeah.
There's way more people that have it than we think, because don't tell me that mom wanted a little girl, not a little boy.
Well, you and I just watched a documentary that's been kind of viral on social media called Unknown Number, and the premise is, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it by now, or at least seen the memes and everything, then you're living under a rock and don't know about it. But this teenage girl, was receiving text messages, horrendous text messages that I'm not even going to begin to talk about on this podcast. And it comes to find out that the cyberbullying that she was enduring was from her mother. And one of the people at the end said, "We believe that she did this so that her daughter would be bullied and then come back to her like, I need my mom. I want to be comforted by my mom."
She wanted to make her mentally sick so
Right.
her mother could take care of her.
Exactly.
She wanted to make her kid suicidal.
It's the mental version of what happened to Gypsy Rose physically.
It's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and like I said, like Joshua said, like, don't judge a book by its cover. But when you see these kids that are like that, look at the parent and look at how they present themselves.
Yeah. And I'll say, too, we're doing on Wednesday nights at Salem Creek a theology of the home, and one of the threats that I talked about a few weeks ago was the devouring mother. Now, fathers can be overbearing, too, but a devouring mother is someone who just cannot let go of their child. They have to create the child in their image, and they cannot cut that umbilical cord. And you see it on varying degrees. There are parents who have kids who are married and moved off, who have to know what they're doing every minute of the day, and if they don't come every Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving, then it's terrible. And then there are others who, are way worse than that. It's all about boundaries and relationships, I think. But as far as the question goes on our thoughts about it, I'm with you. I think it's child abuse, and it's just horrible.
Because if you just use common sense, like a kid, I'm not going to promote that lifestyle, but if that kid were 25 years old and wanted to do that stuff, you can tell him that's wrong all day long, but in the end, you have your free will from God and you choose the life you want to live.
Yeah.
Like, you can't change people's hearts. You can give them the direction to change their heart, but in the end, you can't change people. But a kid doesn't know anything. So it's your job as a parent to guide them of how to live in society.
Well, I'll say this. I'm going to be careful how I say it, because someone who's doing that probably does not have a belief in God. And I'm not saying that they don't, because there are plenty. Nathan and I on our other podcast, we address preachers, pastors, whatever, who are trans and who are gay and who are trying to tell everyone that it's all right. And so it's possible. But if you're a parent and you are telling your child, okay, you're physically a boy, but you should be a girl, or you're physically a girl and you should be a boy, what you're telling that child is, God made a mistake and I know better than God.
Yeah, or if the kid just likes, let's say your little boy comes up to you and says, "I like the pink one." Oh, that means you're a girl.
Yeah.
Because you like the color pink. Yeah, that's just how I view it. People should not trans the kids. Absolutely not. Like, they can't even function in society. They're not adults.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying that I have to wait till I'm 18 to get a tattoo, but yet a 9-year-old can go and chop off his private parts. He could have consent to do that, but yet they can't go get a tattoo without a parent's consent.
It's messed up.
Or you can't even vote. You can't vote until you're 18.
Let's go vote and then get a tattoo.
Or even serve in our military. But no, when you're 9 years old, you can choose to have life-altering surgery.
You know what, though? I actually don't think any 9-year-old chooses that. I think they are told.
Of course they're told that.
To do that.
Of course they're told.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, good.
I don't know who asked that, but
Well, it's good. You and I are pretty outspoken on that particular issue. Like, we're not shy about
because
that one.
I mean, it's child abuse.
Yeah.
Like, that's a harsh thing to say, but that's something that, and you feel like you can't do anything. Like when I saw that kid at the doctor's office, it's not like I can call the police. It's not like I can call, Child Protective Services.
No.
Because they would say, "Oh no, this."
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier about how you can't legislate morality. What they're doing is perfectly legal.
Yeah.
It's perfectly legal for a boy to wear a dress.
Yeah, there's nothing. You can't do anything.
Yeah,
it's not like I
nothing
witnessed
illegal
the
about
mom
it.
punch the kid in the face.
Exactly. But it is child abuse.
It is child abuse.
Okay, Jan wants to know a second question. Do you have a couple song? I can think of one that could fit in that category. I don't know that we have a couple song, though.
I mean, we don't have like. We kind of made the joke of our songs right now are all nursery rhyme songs because that's all we listen to with Emmy now. Is like.
It makes me want to bash my head against the
Yeah,
rock.
that's all we listen to. It's just Bingo was his name, oh.
Yeah.
And even when I'm at work, I'm just like, there were 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. And it'll just be stuck in my head. And I'll be like, well, even when I'm not with Emmy, I'm singing them.
We had a song when I guess, we were married for a little while. I loved listening to Colter Wall for a while, and I think Colter Wall is one of the greatest country artists to ever live. He has a song called Caroline, and it's just beautiful. It's a duet between him and another girl, and just absolutely beautiful. And we would sing that, like we'd play it while we were cooking supper, and we would sing it. And we loved it so much that we were, for half a minute, going to name Emmy Caroline. Like, we went through a bunch of names for Emmy and talked out of all of them. But Caroline, we were going to do, like, even to the point when the doctor or the nurse or social worker, whoever, brought around the birth certificate. Before I signed it, I was like, are we sure we want to name her Emery? But the reason we didn't go with Caroline is because Caroline Ann just didn't really have
I'm
a ring
very
to it.
sentimental, and my grandmother's middle name is Ann, and my mom's middle name is Ann. My middle name is Ann, so I wanted to pass that on. So
Was Grandma Jones's middle name Ann?
I don't think
Does
so.
it go back that far?
No.
Okay.
I thought it did, but I don't think so. I think it started with my granny. But I just really wanted to pass that on to my daughter, and so I really wanted her middle name to be Ann.
Yeah, we were going to do that.
So Caroline Ann just didn't really have a ring to it.
No. But naming Emmy was the hardest thing.
It was very hard. We had several boy names that we liked.
Oh, yeah, because we knew we were going to have a boy.
Yeah, we were just so dead set on having a boy.
God decided to have a sense of humor.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was thrilled when I found out it was a little girl.
I wouldn't trade her for the world.
When I found out we were having a little girl, I got so excited because I didn't think I would ever have a little girl because of Joshua's family history with making children. Because
everybody's had a boy on my family.
Yeah, because on the Houston side, they're all boys, and there hasn't been a girl on that side of the family in a long time.
It's been a long time.
So I just kind of assumed that it'd be a boy just to mentally prepare myself.
Yeah.
And it was a girl, and we were so happy. And we had several names picked out, but we all were like, no.
Well, it's like there was one night I remember we came home, and I said, get your notes page out on your phone and write down 10 names, and I'll write down 10 names. And then we'll see if there's any crossover. There was none. Zero.
There was none.
And everyone you had, I hated, and everyone I had, you hated.
I'll tell a name that I really, really, really liked, but everyone that I've talked to has turned their nose at me saying that that's just a gross name. But I really like the name Winona. I love that name. I don't know why. I just love the name Winona. And everyone was just like, Kayla, no, do not.
The only person I can think of with that name is Winona Judd. Golly. And no offense to Winona Judd.
I know, no
lovely
offense
lady.
to her. But everyone was like, do not name her. I hope no one's listening to this name Winona. But, or Winona Ryder. But whoever's listening to this name Winona, I love that name.
Well,
I love the name.
Well, I love the name Bailey, but the stinking dog down the road is named Bailey. We can't name her after a dog.
So he really liked the name Bailey, but I turned that down because our neighbor down the road, he's super country. He has these cows in these fields, and he never fixes his dead gum fence, and so his cows are out in the road literally every day, and he brings his dog to help round out the cows, and the dog's name is Bailey. And he's always like, "Come here, Bailey, Bailey," and then you can hear him. So I'm like, when he said Bailey, that's the one thing I heard in my head is this old man going, "Bailey, Bailey."
Yeah, well, that's fine. That has nothing to do with a couple songs.
No, it doesn't. We got no team.
That's okay. What are your views on cremation?
My views on it are, I do not think it's inherently wrong if you want to be cremated. I'm sure Joshua has more of a biblical answer, but we're all going to be raised in our physical bodies, and I think God has the ability to raise your body from the ashes.
Into the mic, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
Like I said, I'm not used to speaking.
People, when they talk about cremation, will often go to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. And they're like, well, see there, they're going to burn up, and God loved them. Like, yeah, but they didn't burn up. They could have,
Yeah.
but they didn't. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is not a good argument.
No, it's not.
The good argument to make is that in Genesis 3, when Adam and Eve fall, God curses Adam, and he says, "From dust you were taken, and to dust you shall return."
Yeah.
Adam is dust. He's gone. His bones are gone. Like, whether it's through fire or decay or whatever.
Yeah, because you return to the earth.
You return to the earth. Your bones are gone.
So I think that God has the ability to raise your
If
body
God
from
can
the dirt.
speak all of creation into existence, he can resurrect the dead.
I think maybe that person said that because they've been told that cremation is wrong.
Well, Eastern Orthodox don't cremate.
They don't cremate.
They don't believe in cremation.
Well, sometimes you can't help it. I mean, what if you get blown into smithereens, you know?
Or house fire.
Or you can't really do anything about that.
Well, I think, too, what some people... There is a tradition in church that says that if you're going to have a resurrection of the dead, then there must be something to resurrect. And if you are cremated, then that's the destruction of the body. But I don't see that argument. I don't want to be cremated. Like, I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't want to be cremated. Like,
honestly, I do not care.
You have my funeral plans. Like, you know what I want when
I just know
die.
one thing.
What?
Well, two things. You want a cedar casket and a cappella singing.
Yeah, and who's preaching
You want
my
Nathan.
funeral? I want Nathan to preach my funeral.
I don't know if Nathan would be able to get through it.
I don't know that Nathan knows that I want him to preach my funeral. So if he listens to this,
why did he say he
newsflash,
wanted you to preach his funeral?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't know if Nathan could get through it.
Yeah, he could.
You think so?
Yeah. The worst part would be if he preached my funeral. That funeral would last 3 hours because he'd be telling stories the entire time. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the Bible that forbids cremation at all.
No, I don't either.
What's a lesson that marriage has taught you that you didn't expect to learn?
That's a whole big question.
I didn't expect to get so frustrated at little things.
Yeah.
I mean, I get frustrated at little things anyways because that's my personality. But
yeah, I've learned patience.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying Joshua is, makes me impatient, but
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, you can say it.
no, I mean, not necessarily. It's taught me patience, and it's also taught me a lot about myself.
Yeah.
I think marriage, even though you're getting to know another person on an intimate level, you're also learning a lot about yourself on an intimate level.
And what do they say? Love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener?
It is.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot about myself these past few years.
I've learned a lot about you, too. When you get married, you think you know the person you're marrying.
Yeah, you don't.
And when you're on the honeymoon, you put your best foot forward, and then you get home and give it a year or two.
Yeah, because we didn't really, quote, know each other like we do now.
Well, I mean, we weren't living with each other.
No, and we...
Nor should you.
No. I mean, we only dated for less than a year, and then you proposed, and then we were engaged just 1 year, and then we were married.
Yeah. Which some would say was too long.
I know. It's not long enough.
Our engagement wasn't long enough.
No, I mean like what you just said.
Well, I'm thinking.
Like you said that's too long for marriage, and I said no, it's not long enough.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Oh,
I was saying
you.
like there are some religious people who would say you date intentionally, and so when you find someone that you like have a connection to, you immediately get married. Like there's stories of people getting married after a month of dating, and then they've been married for 50 plus years.
And you know what? I was like I used to be super against that, but now I'm just like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're committed to being a servant to somebody else, because I really believe, I'm still learning myself, but people do not understand what marriage is.
No.
Like, you get married to serve another person. You're not getting married for yourself. Well, does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's Ephesians 5.
Like, if you go into a marriage thinking me.
Yeah, you cannot be selfish in a good marriage.
Like, you have to literally give your whole being to the other person, and the other person give the whole being to you.
That's what Jimmy Evans says, the marriage counselor. He says, the best marriages are two servants in love. So, yeah you got to serve each other.
And I think a lot of people now just don't want to serve.
But I think a lot of people don't know how.
When I say a lot of people, I mean, I guess people that don't have a religious background.
See, I would disagree, though. I think that it's everybody. There are a lot of Christian couples who have terrible marriages.
There is, but there's a lot of Christian couples, I think, that have figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we need the older Christian couples to teach the younger Christian couples.
I think that's like one of the main things to make your marriage work is have God in the center of it.
It's not one of the main things. It is the main thing.
Well, yeah, it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, just me and you. Like, because I preach and we're at church all the time, it can be really, really hard for us to come home and, like, together, like you and I both have our own prayer life and Bible study life and whatever, but it can be really hard to come home and do that together. But since we've had Emmy, one thing we've really tried to do, especially recently, is pray with her.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, there are some days where I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But you got to get over that. Like Matt Fradd said, it's not that you don't have time, it's that you don't have enough love. And he's talking there about prayer. It's like, well, I don't have time to pray. No, you don't have enough love for God. But I think that's true in marriage. You know, you say, well, I don't have time to do this for my wife. I don't have time to get up with her in the morning and make her a cup of coffee, or to get home at a decent hour where I can eat supper with my family. Like, no, it's not that you don't have time. It's you don't have love. Is that somewhat...
I guess people can't see me nodding my head because I'm just sitting here nodding my head, and I was, oh wait, people can't see me.
Well, every time I do a podcast, it's video, so.
Well, we would have done the video, but we couldn't figure out how to do it with the both of us without having two separate screens, and we thought it'd be weird to have two separate screens since we're both married, living in the same house.
Well, most people listening to this are going to listen to it in the car.
Yeah.
So, good enough. Okay, next. How do you stay true to your own personality as individuals while also being one flesh in marriage? I love this question.
So, being your own individual while being married.
I'll tell you how I interpret this question, and then you can tell me what you think about it.
Yeah.
You and I have very different personalities. So, for me, I think less so now, but I am a farm kid. I'm a country person. I do the auction stuff. I wear the cowboy hats and the big belt buckles, even though I haven't done that in a pretty good while. I do the scholar stuff. So, like, I'm into academia, writing these papers, presenting at these conferences. Not that you don't like that stuff, but it is not your personality. The country stuff may be more so, but
no, yeah, you're right. It's not, but I think I've displayed.
And then you, like, you know, your personality, you like to go and do stuff.
Yeah, I do.
So, like, if we have a free day, you want to go do something. I'm not that way. If I have a free day, I want to sit at home and do nothing. So we just have different personalities. But we're one flesh.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. This is how I'd answer that question then. When I have an auction, like if I have an auction or an auction contest, you come with me. Like you come watch.
I think I've displayed over the years that I've tried to immerse myself in your culture.
Yeah.
So when I say your
100%.
culture, like
You've come with me to conferences.
I've went to, it's kind of different now because of Emmy, but when we didn't have Emmy, I went to auctions with you. I went to speaking events with you. Yeah. Like you said, I went to conferences with you. I tried really hard to support you and immerse myself into you.
Yeah. And you have.
And,
Still do. And I have tried. I'm not always good at it. Really. Well, it's not that it's not the same. I guess it is the same. But for me, I spend my entire week, 7 days a week, constantly around people. So when I get a free minute, the last thing I want to do is be around people. Yeah. But I love people, but no offense. So when I come in on Saturday...
You need to recharge.
Yeah, I need to recharge. So when I come in on Saturday and we don't have anything going on, and you say, can we take the family to go to antique stores? In my heart of hearts, I'm like, dang, I would really rather not. But then I like antiques. You know, I like going to antique stores and seeing new stuff.
Or like going for a hike. I like being in nature.
I like doing that too. And I think that's a good compromise because you can do that and not be around people. But, you know, I have tried. I'm not as good at it as you are. I'll freely admit that. I really don't like Starbucks and TJ Maxx. I'm sorry. But I did the other day try to give you your day.
It's funny because, like I said, people can't see me. I'm just sitting here, like, smiling, like, yeah.
Yeah. What did we do? We went to Starbucks. We
just had, like, a basic girl day where he just took me out and I went shopping. Because I haven't been shopping in a long time.
But where did we go? We went to basic girl places.
We went to a lot of basic girl places, and we got the basic girl Starbucks, and we got the cake pop, and we got the cake pop. Maybe we didn't.
We went to the mall.
We went to the,
We went to, like...
And we did not have the baby.
No, we left her with my mom, I think. But we went to, like, TJ Maxx or something like that.
I think another difference between you and me is, like, I like to go into restaurants and experience the restaurant and, like, be social, and you like to take it to go and eat it at home.
I don't like to be around people.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
and
that's
the older
what
I get, the less I like to be around people.
I think we have a nice balance because, like, when we have a minute, we'll go into a restaurant and chill, like, in a new restaurant because I like to try new things.
Yeah.
Joshua don't like to try new things. I do.
I'm a
little bit more adventurous.
I'll go. You are definitely 100% more adventurous than me.
Yeah, I like to be adventurous.
Yeah. But I'll go into a new restaurant.
And Joshua's more like
thing.
Conservative, and he just sticks to what he knows, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But he just, you know, he'll order the same thing, and he.
You can name any restaurant right now, and I would tell you my order is the same order I've had at that particular restaurant ever since I was 5 years old.
And that's okay. And some people are like that, but I like to try like new things and like sometimes if
I was in college before I ever went to Taco Bell.
I know. Or I think the first time Joshua ever had a Starbucks was with me when he was like 25 years old. I'm pretty sure that was your first time.
I think I had one in college.
You did?
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Okay, free doesn't count. Like going into a Starbucks.
Oh, I'd never been in a Starbucks. I had someone bring me Starbucks when I was in college one time. I'd never been in a Starbucks, never ordered at Starbucks. That's for doggone sure. Ordering coffee gives me more anxiety than just about anything else in the world. I have no idea how to order coffee. Because when you go to Starbucks and they ask you what you want, and you tell them 1 medium black coffee, they just can't comprehend it.
Well, they're like, well, do you mean a tall, or do you mean a grande, or a venti?
I will say, now that they have the app, I just order on the app.
Yeah, the app makes it easier.
It does make it so much easier.
I just really like Starbucks. Like, I know people are into their Dunkin'. I'm sorry, I hate Dunkin'.
Yeah, I do
like,
too.
I'll have it, but I think
It's
their coffee
gross.
is nasty. It's just milk and sugar and maybe 2 drops of espresso.
Yeah.
And then Seven Brew is a step above Dunkin'. Like, it's okay, but a lot of people are still into. I'm still loyal to Starbucks.
I get
I
Starbucks
really-
now whenever I'm doing conferences. It makes me feel bougie and scholarly.
Yeah, I really like
do that.
Starbucks, and I like different. Like, I really like local coffee shops. Like,
Yeah.
I love to try, like that one me and my friend went to. Oh shoot, it's on the square in Murfreesboro. What's it called? I don't remember what it's called, but we walked in it and the coffee was so good. I just can't.
Muletown Coffee in Columbia is good.
Yeah, well,
And
we've
Buckhead.
been there.
Buckhead's good.
Okay, now I have to look it up while you're speaking.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to answer this question because we keep going in circles about coffee and babies. So, how do you stay true to your own personality as individuals?
Brass Horn Coffee Roasters.
There you go. While also being one flesh in marriage. This is how you do it. You have to like you.
Yeah, I guess.
You have to like you. If there's somebody that I'm around and I don't like that person, I can just not be around them. But I'm with me 24/7. And I don't know, not that this needs to be therapy, but like I'm 32 years old. For 31 and a half years of my life, I hated me. And you even made the comment to me the other day while we were walking. You're like, you're different. I'm like, yeah, because I'm trying not to hate me. And I'm trying to love I'm trying to love our family more and just have a different perspective. I still got a long way to go, but
I think I've gotten. I used to be like that, but I feel like over time I've gotten better.
yeah.
Because it is
I
hard.
think the older you get, the easier
it is hard
too.
to love yourself, especially if you're like a very critical person.
And I am. I'm a very critical person.
Not that you criticize other people, but you criticize
No, I'm
yourself.
critical of myself.
Yes.
Terribly, yeah.
Yes.
What's one biblical principle you keep going back to that's been helpful in your relationship?
What biblical principle
Yeah.
have we come back to keep our relationship? I mean, all of it. Like love,
Yeah.
faith, loyalty, mercy,
Mercy's a good one.
forgiveness,
Yeah.
forgiving yourself, forgiving each other. I mean, but I guess what this question trying to say, like, to you personally, like, what biblical value that you go back to? I'd say faith. I like faith. Or grace.
Yeah.
Grace, like being graceful.
You're a very gracious person.
Like being gracious to you.
Yeah.
And not,
Grace is giving someone
Giving you
something
a
good
break.
that they don't deserve.
yeah, like giving you a break. Like, because we're all imperfect. Like, you've said hurtful things to me, and I've said hurtful things to you.
Yeah.
And just giving that person you love grace and just showing them that you love them and just showing them that you hurt them, but you do it in love. I like grace.
Yeah. I think for me, the one that I keep coming back to, and it's more so now that we have a child, because you are perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. And I like to take care of you, and I think it's my job as a husband to take care of you. But you do a good job taking care of yourself. But the biblical principle I come back to is you are a man, and as the man of the house, it's your responsibility to protect and keep that Garden of Eden that is your home.
Yeah.
Like, that's what God tells Adam in the Garden of Eden. You're to protect and keep it.
As a woman, especially now, I can take care of myself, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to be taken care of by my man.
Well, I think there are times where my duty to protect and keep isn't popular. Or when I think that there's something that we need to do, it may or may not be popular. But as the man, I'm charged with doing that, come what may. And if you keep God at the center of it, then that's going to be what it's going to be. But I think that's it. Like Jimmy Evans, I talked about him a minute ago, but when you and I got married, we had pretty terrible marriage counseling. premarital counseling.
We won't say from who.
We won't say from who.
I mean, he's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to bash him.
It was,
but
on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 5. It was fine. It was average. It's what every
it
other...
was just kind of like,
It was surface level.
love yourself, trust in yourself, believe in yourself, sign this.
Yep.
Like, that's all.
So
It was kind of shallow.
It was shallow. So we decided that we were going to dive deeper into it, and we found some curriculum online and watched these videos and went through it. I highly disagree with Jimmy Evans theologically, but his marriage stuff is really good. But you learn each other's mega need. My men's mega need is for respect and honor. And women's mega need is for love, acceptance, and security. And so I think the biblical principle that I go back to for our marriage, and it goes back to what I just said, but I have to remind myself, first of all, you're not me. You're a totally different person, and you need love, acceptance, and security.
And I don't think like a man.
Right.
Because I think that's another thing, too, with me, is like I use my female brain and...
Yeah, and that's very frustrating for a man.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating for a woman, too, because I use the male brain.
Because we're two opposite genders.
Yeah. But I just try to make sure that you feel love, accepted, and secure. And then I think you try to make sure that I feel respected and honored.
I think over the years, too, that's how I've tried to show you that I respect and honor you is to show up for you.
Yes.
Like being there at church, being there through all the auction stuff, because that was your hobby that you loved. And honestly, I could care less for it, but I'm there showing up for you and I'm enjoying it. And going to you with certain speaking events and, you know, traveling so you can do your thing. Like, I think that's a way that I've showed you that I care and that I respect what you want and believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Now it's been kind of hard with the baby because I can't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's so hard just to go to things now because Emmy has a very strict bedtime of 7. And I'll tell y'all, it's not me that has the strict bedtime. I'm pretty flexible with my bedtime, but Emmy is the one that she is like clockwork. Like she just knows. As soon as that clock turns 7, that girl is ready for bed, and she will literally scream her head off until she is in her sleep sack with that white noise. She's out.
Yeah, some babies.
And I just can't
some
get
babies
out
are chill.
past 7.
Yeah, some babies are chill. Like the other night, it was Wednesday night, there was a little baby at church. I'll leave names out to protect the innocent, but this little baby is the cutest thing on the planet, and he was like so smiley and giggly and happy. He's a little bit younger than Emmy, and it was like at that point it was Wednesday night, so it was like 7:30, 7:40 by the time I saw him. And I'm sitting there thinking, if Emmy was here, she would be turning this place upside down.
Yeah, she'd be screaming. And she will scream until she can't scream. She likes her sleep, but she's also very particular about her sleep. Yeah. Like, she loves her crib. She doesn't want to sleep on me. Mm-hmm. The only reason she'll sleep on me is when she has no more gas. Like, I can't just hold her and just pat her butt and then her just fall asleep like during church. Like, no, there has to be a process.
That's how I knew she was ready for a nap today, because she actually came and laid her head on me. And
yeah, that's a sign.
Yeah, she's never done that.
She's not
a very cuddly baby.
She's just not. It's just her personality. Yeah. I thought for months there was something like seriously psychologically wrong with her, but then I've learned that some babies are just
I'm not the most cuddly person on the planet either.
We'll see. I was a very cuddly baby, so I don't know if she gets it from you or
I wasn't.
You weren't.
So I've been told.
Yeah, Emmy's just not very cuddly. Was he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one is not on our list. It came in while we were talking, and it's a.
Are we live? We're not live.
We're not live. It just so happened to come in while we were talking.
Okay.
The question is: are women supposed to obey their husbands no matter what, unless sin is involved?
I mean, okay, so I'm just going to repeat the question because I don't want to be too quick to speak. Women should always obey their husbands unless it's sin.
Yeah.
Yes, but you also have to remember the husband has a duty to lead and protect. The husband is not supposed to be a dictator and order the wife around like a maid. That's not your husbandly duties.
Men for so long have gotten married thinking that they're getting a mother in the deal. They're getting someone to cook and clean for them and pick out their clothes and make sure everything's in order.
Oh, yeah.
That's the job of a mother. When you get married, you don't have a mother, you have a wife.
Yeah.
And like I think, and I've told you this a lot, but I think that every man needs to be able to do 5 things. You need to be able to iron your own shirt. You need to be able to tie your own tie. You need to know how to shave. You need to know how to tell the barber what kind of haircut you want. What was the 5th one? I don't remember what the 5th one was. I don't know. Oh, you need to know how to shoot a gun. Those are 5 things that every man needs to know how to do.
Yeah, so I think people also neglect, like, they may hear a question like that and think that's oppressive to women. But at the same time, the man needs to realize, too, that they also have, like, the woman's responsibility is to submit to her husband. The husband's responsibility is to provide and protect her.
Well, I think it's important because
you're
you're quoting Ephesians 5.
Yes,
we
I
need
am.
to know what the word submit means. The word submit is a military term in Greek, and it's the term for a soldier following the commands of the general. Like, you don't not follow the commands of the general. But in that context, wives submit to their husbands as the church submits to Christ.
Yeah, and Christ died for the church.
And men love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her.
And that's a big responsibility. And I think that's one thing, like, when people talk about submission and being oppression, like, for a woman to submit to a man, the man has to follow what you just said.
That's
or
right.
A woman will not submit to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think, though, that there are times where men may try to, like, sacrificially lead their families, and the wife may not understand it or interpret it that way. And there comes a time where the question is, well, does she need to submit or do I need to sacrificially give? And I don't know, those are case-by-case things that have to be dealt with in prayer. But, I mean, it's tricky. But it's kind of, to me, it goes back to this issue. I hear it a lot, especially on Father's Day and Mother's Day. People are like, well, don't tell me I have to respect my parents. You don't know what they did to me. Like, okay, the 5th commandment says honor your father and mother, but fathers and mothers need to be honorable.
Yeah.
So wives, submit to your husband. Husbands, be worthy of submitting to.
Right.
Be someone with vision. Be someone who has a plan. Be someone that in the hardest of times, your wife knows that come hell or high water, you will be there to throw yourself in front of a train if they need it.
Yeah, I think both the man and the woman both have work.
Yeah.
That needs to be done. The man just doesn't get to just be, and there's nowhere in the Bible saying that the man should dictate over his wife.
No. Well, Christ is the
And
Lord of the home.
I think people hear that question and they automatically interpret that meaning that the wife is like a slave.
Right. Right.
Which is not true because the Bible actually gives more commandments to men than women.
That's correct. Right? Yeah, Paul in Ephesians 5 has double the amount to say to men than he does to women. Yeah.
I know growing up they would always joke, well, it says, well, there's nowhere in the Bible saying wives have to love their husbands.
There's nowhere that says wives love your husbands?
Yeah. Like, you know how it says husbands love your wives, but
see, I disagree with that.
It's a joke.
I know it's a joke, but
like, there's
it's
nowhere in the Bible saying,
joke.
like, I know it's stupid. I've just heard that before, saying, like, you don't have to love your husband. The Bible doesn't say so.
Well, when you realize that your husband's mega need is for respect and honor, then submission to your husband
I
is
think
fulfilling
that's a
respect and
form
honor.
of love.
It is. It's the definition of love for men.
Yes.
I'm passionate about this.
It's a joke. I know. He didn't take it as a joke. I was trying to be funny.
I don't know how to joke.
He didn't take it as a joke.
I mean, have you seen the jokes that I try to tell on Sundays in my sermons? No one ever
People
laughs.
Yeah, they do.
It's a pity laugh.
I think they do.
Okay, we got 4 questions left, and
I know, y'all. This is probably really long.
That's okay. They don't have to listen to all of it.
Yeah, that's true. They can skip it.
2 of them are for me, and 2 of them are for you. So you want to go back and forth?
That's fine.
All right, this one's for you. What's been the most... Well, okay, I want to save that one for last. What's something about Joshua as a professor and preacher that people would never guess about him?
Oh, wow. I guess if you meet Joshua, let's say, for the first time, like, you see him how he is with being a preacher, or being a minister, I should say, being a minister and being a scholar, I guess you would never imagine him wearing a cowboy hat. Because Joshua wore cowboy hats. Like, Joshua has a whole other he has 2 different wardrobes. He has, like, his, like, sweater vest and scholarly ties and the suits, and, you know, because Joshua loves his fashion. I don't dress him. If y'all think I dress him, I don't, because he dresses himself. And then his other side is, like, the Wrangler button-ups and the bootcut wash jeans and the cowboy. I think people think it's really funny that you're an auctioneer. And this is what I say. Like, when I tell people that you're a minister, but you also auctioneer on the side, people always, like, cock their head and say, what? Like, those things don't mesh together. And no offense to the auction industry, but auctioneers are known to be kind of...
immoral crooks.
Yeah, like promiscuous, like lying, like, you know, getting the highest dollar that they can, and then you have the minister. I want to tell this joke, but I don't know if I should.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I remember one time, this man I work with, I will not reveal what his profession is, but I was talking to him one day, and he said, like, so your husband's a minister? And I heard he auctioneers too? And I was like, yeah, he does, like, the auctioneering on the side. Like, he'll sell, like, he does, you know, your TriStar thing, and you've done your estate sales, and that he'll preach on Sunday. And he just cocks his head and goes, that's like saying a nun that strips. And he was like, those things do not mix together. And I was like, I've never really thought about it, because until I got with you, I had no clue about the auction. Like,
you know what's funny though? Like, that, I hear that mostly in the preaching side of things, because when I go speak places, they always say that I'm an auctioneer, and then they make that stupid joke that I hate so daggone much. They're like, well, we're going to get a quick sermon today.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not. We're going to be here longer if you keep saying that joke.
Yeah.
But when I go sell auctions, all of my auction friends know, they're like, this is the preacher. So we have to...
So we can't cheat.
So we have to be on our best behavior. Well, I've gotten in trouble for this.
We have to be on our best behavior.
I have sold auctions, and I've said sold, hammer's fallen, item is gone, and we've had a bid come in late, and people have wanted me to go back and act like I didn't say sold and take that bid.
Said sold.
When I obviously, well, even if I didn't say sold, I obviously had passed on to the next lot. And I told them, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I have to answer to God. Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of auctioneer people you're friends with on the internet. If you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
I have a lot of really good moral auctioneer friends.
Yeah.
I also know some who aren't.
Yep.
And I know a lot of preachers who are good moral preachers, and I know some who aren't.
Yep.
It goes both ways.
It sure does.
Okay, so you think that the thing people don't know about, that they'd be surprised to know about me, is I'm an auctioneer.
Do you want something more on, like, a...
I don't care. Like, it's your question.
Oh, shoot. I mean, there's so many things about him. I mean, I guess I just think about that because the two just don't agree with each other.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, and Joshua does, I mean, he does dress, like I said, he does dress himself.
I do think people would be surprised to know that.
He does. I do not buy clothes. I bought Joshua one shirt and one pants one time. That was last week.
And I've worn it 3 times.
Yeah, and I have never bought Joshua clothes. I've never picked out his clothes. I can't tell you what size pants he wears. I have no idea. I do know you're a 9.5 shoe. But Joshua is very particular about what he wears. Like, I can't... I cannot pick out men's clothes. Like, people, and I think people would think that's really, like, odd to hear, because usually the wife like picks out the clothes for the husband because the husband has no idea what to wear because their dads didn't teach them how to dress. No offense to people.
Well, no offense to my dad who will listen to this, but my dad didn't really teach me how to dress.
Yeah, it's like young men aren't really told.
What happened for me with dressing was when I started preaching, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to wear suits all the time, so I need a suit that fits. I didn't have a suit that fit. It was too small or too big, so I got a custom-made suit and spent a lot of money on it. And I remember when I did, I know my parents are going to listen to this, but I remember my mom texting me after I got that suit saying that I had become a city boy because I bought a custom suit. But I went on YouTube, like when I started preaching full time, I went on YouTube and watched these fashion guys talk about how to buy a well-fitting suit, a shirt that fits, a tie that matches, how to tie a tie, how to shave properly, which I don't do anymore because I've got this beard. You've never seen me without a beard.
I have not, and I probably never will.
Probably not. So yeah. Okay, here's this one's for me. How did you meet Kayla, and when did you know you wanted to marry her? When we met at church.
Yeah, we did.
Like we both went to Freed Hardeman, but not at the same time. And even if we would have gone at the same time, we probably wouldn't have gotten together while we were there because you were too busy with nursing school.
Well, you were also older than me.
Yeah.
I was a freshman when you were a senior.
Yeah, but you were also a transfer.
Yeah, I was.
So
I went to Montlow for a year.
Yeah, so we weren't on campus at the same time at all. But your mom and dad started coming to Salem Creek, and as the story goes, which most everyone knows, the first night they were there, I was preaching. Lisa leaned over to John and said, Kayla's going to marry him, and there's the prophecy that's been fulfilled.
Yep.
So I met you at church. You were having surgery.
Yes.
On
my nose.
On your nose.
Not like a nose job.
Deviated septum.
Y'all,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't plastic surgery. It was done by an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And I still work with him.
So your mom came up to me and was like, I think Kayla would really appreciate. Do you like my Lisa impression?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I think Kayla would really appreciate it if you would send her a text and tell her you're praying for her. So I did, and never heard back from you.
Me and Josh have talked about this several times, but I do not remember receiving a text.
And that's fine. You were high as a kite.
I don't even remember. Like
I get it
because I would have responded. I'm not the type to just leave someone on red and not respond.
So I mean, after that, and like I wasn't opposed just having a relationship with you at that point, but it wasn't something I was necessarily looking for. So I just kind of let that be that. And then you messaged me.
That's because of my roommate.
Yeah. But you messaged me on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then we started talking, and we started dating. And I'll tell y'all right now, because people think this is nuts, and Kayla has laughed at me for it before, but after the first date, I knew we were going to get married. Mm-hmm. We went to Cookout, and we sat there for 3 hours, kind of like what we're doing now, and just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. So that was it. I was ready.
I think it took me a few weeks, but yeah.
But it wasn't like, I don't want people to misunderstand. I don't want you to misunderstand. It wasn't the creepy older preacher who's single who needs a wife in order to have a job and keep a job. Like I legitimately
you weren't creepy.
knew.
Like we didn't sit there and talk about biblical marriage for 6 hours.
Well, yeah, like
we talked about school and personal things and
yeah. But like I legitimately knew when I was driving you back to your car, I was like, we're gonna get married.
Yeah. So
cool.
How sweet.
I know. Okay, I'm going to take this next one because I want your question to be the last one. It says, since you're the academic, what are areas where Kayla is smarter than you? Literally every other thing besides Greek and Hebrew.
Okay, I wouldn't say... I guess if you think of, like, medical practice, I guess I can say I just have more expertise because I am a nurse. I've been an RN for 7 years now.
Yeah, but so you you just know so much more than me. Like I know the nerdy stuff, but you have a more general knowledge about various things. I tell you right now, you know a whole lot more about like babies and raising kids and like how to feed a 9-month-old.
Because I get on Google and I say how to feed a 9-month-old.
I'm telling you right now, AI might take over the world, but ChatGPT has been my best friend.
I have never Googled. I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I have never Googled so much in my life.
Gosh, me either.
Since having a baby, and
it's the weirdest stuff.
I'll be honest. Like in my nursing, I don't mess with kids. I know nothing about kids. Kids as patients scare me to death.
If the FBI sees my Google search history, like, is this color poop normal? I'm not asking for myself. I'm asking for my child.
Right.
No, you know a lot more than I do on a lot of stuff. You ready for your question?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one. What's been the most rewarding part and the hardest part about supporting Joshua?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the most rewarding part. Well, of course, when you look at our purpose here on the planet as followers of Christ, our calling, we all have a calling, and it's the same calling as to seek and save the lost and to make heaven crowded.
Yeah.
That's our one thing in life we are destined to do, that we are called to do, and to be added to the Lord's church. And I find it rewarding that I married someone that wants to make that his career, and that wants to further himself deeper in the Word so he can educate people. And even not just on just a Sunday morning biblical like sermon, not just that, but expand that into like the actual historical writings and the literature of the Bible, and even learning things outside the Bible to help expand our knowledge of God's Word. I think that's really rewarding to see that. And like if I have a question, like a really deep question about the Bible, I can just go to Joshua and you just know it.
Not all the time.
Most of the time, you know, like Joshua's hardly ever stumped about something because he has immersed himself so much in the Bible that Joshua's just a walking manuscript. He just knows a lot of stuff, and I find that rewarding to be a part, to be married to you, knowing that that's your profession, because you have I think you've made that into your career, that's the one career that just means everything to anybody. Like you can help literally anybody. Like I can help people that are sick, but that's about it. Like I can't help people with their taxes.
Well, I can't either.
Yeah, but like I mean, like coming from like a spirituality stance. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, I teach a class at Faulkner called Understanding Biblical Literature to students who either don't believe in God, don't care about church. Like, it's an undergraduate prerequisite class. Everybody has to have it. And I tell them on the first day of class, I'm like, I know that on the first day of class, your teacher gets up here and explains to you why their class is the most important. Well, you guys are going to go off and do great things in various areas. You're going to get your degree. You're going to be successful. But what does it profit to gain the whole world and lose your soul? And if in these 8 weeks I can help you learn about your soul, then that'll be worth it. And I think when I tell them that, it speaks volumes to them. I think that they enjoy knowing that somebody really cares about their soul. Yeah. Instead of just another grade.
And I think with you, like, your answers are just so in-depth. It's not just like if someone comes with you with a concern, or if I come with you with a concern, like on a spiritual matter, you don't say, well, Romans so-and-so says this, and that's it. Like, no, like you actually have expanded your knowledge to go beyond the Bible. Like like things I've never even thought of, like the historical concepts of it, the culture during that time that people kind of scratch their heads, like when we've all grown up in the, I don't want to say that, but like in church, like you just get your Sunday morning sermon on this topic, but you really don't. Over the years, like I've never learned like the culture of people living in that time, and like how they even write is completely different. How like we take things like I think immersed yourself, like in the culture, in the writings, in the history. Well, I mean, and even people and even people from all different types of denominations that have all given different insights. I mean, not saying we should like convert to those, but there's been a lot of people that you've listened to that have like
that have helped.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the whole reason I wrote this book that's coming out in like a month or less, hopefully. I had to really sit down and wrestle with, are we right? Because I was listening to some things that were pretty convincing, and I wanted to wrestle with that, and I did. And I think I came out believing that we are right, but there are certainly things that we've gotten wrong in our tradition that need to be fixed. And I addressed that in the book, so plug.
Yep.
Buy my book. So, okay, that's been the most rewarding. What's the most challenging?
Well, it comes with its challenges, like with any other profession. I mean, since you are a minister, it's different being a minister's wife.
Very different.
At church.
Yeah.
Like, you are not seen as a regular church member. You are seen, and this isn't everybody that, I'm just giving the stereotype. Like, I'm not saying everyone sees me as this, but they just see me as the accessory.
Yeah. I think that's true for a lot of, and I don't think anyone would come out and say, well, I think everyone would come out and say, well, no, I don't. Like, I love Kayla.
Yeah.
But what you say versus what you do are two very different things.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm not trying
We're
to...
We're not fussing at anybody.
No, but that's just the stereotype. Yeah. Like when you have a Church of Christ that has a minister and the minister's wife, you're looked at more. People are watching you, especially now that I've had Emmy. People are watching.
I think it's way worse now that we have Emmy.
Yeah, it's way worse.
I think it's way worse.
That's to be expected. I knew that would happen. It's also extremely lonely.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no one wants to be friends with the preacher's wife.
At the end of the day, few people, if any, want to be friends with the preacher.
Yeah, because you're the minister. Like, you give the word, and that's like you're holier than thou.
Yeah,
is how they see the minister and the minister's wife.
And they think that if they're around us, the only thing they can talk about is church.
Yeah, or like they think they have to confess.
Yeah.
Like if you say that, like I even know, like even at work, it always makes me feel just super awkward because. And even people at church, I've known, like in church, I say not just say I'm a creep, but just anywhere, have treated me this way. But you're looked at like if you're a preacher's wife, like you're just goody two shoes, like you don't mess up. You're just this pure feminine being that does no wrong, and you just sit there.
You radiate sunshine.
You just sit there and read your Bible all day long. And even at work, it makes me feel like so awkward, like. It's been this way for years, and like if I'm at work working with my coworkers and one of them says something vulgar or says a cuss word, a lot of the times, everyone will look at me and say, "I'm sorry, Kayla," and it makes me feel awkward because I just don't say anything because at the end of the day, I don't care what you say. Like, you're not offending me, you're offending God.
Yeah.
Like, I literally do not care what you say to me or about me, but you're offending God at the end of the day. But it just makes me feel, because people know I'm married to a minister's wife, and that's why they do that.
You're married to a minister.
Or, yeah, that's what I meant, sorry.
Yeah.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel really just, like, why are you bringing that attention on me? And then it makes, like, they'll go, oh, sorry, Kayla.
No, I get it.
Or you better go confess your sins to the preacher on Sunday. You know, people will say things like that. And even at church, like, I think people look at me like I have it all together, or like I'm judgmental.
Yeah.
When I'm really not.
It took me a long time to realize, because, I mean, I worked for roughly 10 years co-preaching with a man who had preached for 40 years. And people would come to me asking me, like, advice, like life advice or spiritual guidance. I was kind of in the boat where if you have a question about the Bible, like the biblical studies stuff, well, you can come to me and talk about it. Like, we can talk about what Paul meant when he said X, Y, Z. But the life advice stuff, you need to go to the other guy and talk to him. But people would come to me, and it has really taken me, like, really this year to say, I'm okay telling them, look, I don't know what to tell you, but I can sit here and study with you and pray with you, but I really don't know.
I think at the end of that, like, we're just two people and we're humans too, and we have our likes and our dislikes, and just because we want to spread the gospel doesn't mean that we're going to judge you for how you live.
There's something about that front row seat and that 3-foot elevation on the stage that just make people...
Okay, y'all. All right, so the whole reason we are sitting on that front row is because that door is there so we can get to the nursery. And like I said earlier in this podcast, Emmy has had bad colic in the past. So when we were sitting where we were sitting for many years, it was difficult for me to walk out to the back, walk around the building there, and then get to the nursery if I needed to change her diaper. So I promise it's not because Ron retired that we're sitting there. I think a lot of people think that. It's like, no, the only reason we were sitting, because I hate being a front row Christian. I don't like sitting in the front row.
Well, if I'll say this, if you look at the front, like 3 or 4 rows, it's all young parents with young babies. Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, when one of them have an explosion, you want the door to be there.
Yeah, you've got to get to the door.
It can be an attitude explosion or it can be a dirty diaper, but you want it. You want to be able to get out. Yeah, like
that door it makes it so much easier to get to the nursery.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is challenging.
But I'm pretty sure half the people at Salem Creek thought that we were moving there because Ron retired.
You know what? One of the dumbest things, like, I'm not trying to rag on people, I get it, but I won't say the dumbest things, but one of the funniest kind of, I don't know what to say, ridiculous things people said to me was they asked me if I was going to move offices. Yeah. And I'm like, why? It's literally 10 feet down. The office size is the same
size.
Yeah. And like, I have bookshelves and books everywhere.
Well, now it's Jamie's office.
Yeah, now it's Jamie's office.
Yeah, now it's Jamie's office.
And it's right by the door, so when somebody comes in, Jamie gets to be the first one to talk to them.
That's funny.
You know, Jamie's doing great. Like,
yeah, he is a good fit.
We're so blessed and thankful for the 40 plus years, or 40 years exactly, I guess it was, that Ron gave. And then Jamie coming in as the youth minister, he's been a huge blessing. So, but it's not easy. No, it's not easy to have everybody look at you all the time.
Yeah, it's not. It's almost like you're treated like a celebrity.
Yeah. There is a celebrity culture.
That's like it's like a traditional Church of Christ thing where you have celebrity, like preachers.
You weren't with me when I went to Laverne for the summer series, but Josh Pappas got in the pulpit and he gave the introduction for me, and I love Josh. I have a great respect for him. I think he's smarter than I am.
He's very smart. I've known him since I was a small preteen girl.
I think honorary doctorates should be.
I remember when he was your age.
Wow. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I remember when he was in his 30s, when I was like a preteen girl.
Well, I believe honorary doctorate should be a sin. Having gotten a PhD, honorary doctorate should be a sin. Except Josh Pappas should have one. If he doesn't want to go pursue a PhD, somebody should give him an honorary doctorate. That dude is
Yeah,
a genius. But I bring him up because he got in the pulpit and was given the introduction before I spoke. And I really am thankful that he said, like, it was a huge compliment. But he said, I think that Joshua Houston is going to be famous in the Brotherhood before it's all said and done. And I cringed for like half a second. And then he looked at me dead in the window of my soul and he goes, and that's not a bad thing. And, you know, there is a celebrity culture with preachers, but, you know, Paul was known everywhere he went, but everywhere he went, they had riots and stoned him. That's probably what's going to happen to us as preachers before it's all said and done, too. So, it'd be fine. Anything else?
Let's see, challenging. I mean, that's, for me, I think that's about it. Like, people definitely treat me different.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, that's just part of the job that I don't get paid for.
Well,
but it is difficult for me because I am definitely not an in-your-face person. I'm probably more like on the introverted side of things. Like, I do not like to, like, I mean, I can speak, but I do not like to speak. I don't like to be the center of attention. And I think that's a preacher's wife, and I think I do have a hard time with that. Like, I don't like to draw attention to myself. Like, even just doing this podcast is hard for me.
well, you're doing good. It's been really good. Well, I remember
'Cause, like,
being in
using my
preacher.
voice.
I remember being in preacher in his work as an undergraduate, and David, what's his name? Powell. David Powell's wife came in and taught the class on the preacher's wife and like congregational expectations for the preacher's wife, and she wrote a chapter in the textbook over it.
I would
And,
have failed that test.
Oh, I still have it. Like, I still have the book. It's on my shelf, and
I would have failed the test.
it was so good. It really prepared me in a way that I didn't think I would need to be prepared. But like you do, you live in a fishbowl. Everybody wants to look in. Everybody wants to knock on the glass. But I don't think people mean harm when they do it.
No, not at all. I think it's just
Some
part
people,
of.
I
it's
will say
part of
some
the-
people do.
Oh yeah, they
Some
do.
people
because-
want you to just fall off a cliff and never
Yeah,
come
they
back.
do, and it's sad that they're like that. We should pray for them. We should offer them, grace.
Yeah, that was the last question. So, anything else before we get ready for bed?
That's about it.
Now that we have to go to work tomorrow.
Whoever's going to listen to this, thank you for listening. I know this has been long. Josh has been wanting to do this a while with me, and I finally broke down and said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Well, I don't think it's the last time that we need to do this. Like, I've had fun.
Yeah.
I like answering questions that I don't have to come up with, but I also like just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
cool.
agree. Yeah. So, and my closing remarks, please, if someone is a Lord of the Rings fan, going back to that, if you can give me a presentation about how to like Lord of the Rings so I can please my husband, I am open to discussion.
It'll have to come from one of y'all because she won't listen to me.
I've tried, yeah, but I need some more guidance.
Okay, I think there's one thing though that you and I can agree on when it comes to movies, or I don't know, is it a book? I don't think, is it a book? I think we both agree that Star Wars is worse than all of those.
I don't think Star Wars is a book. Is it?
I don't know. I kind of think it might be.
I think every movie is a book.
And Hayden Pfeiffer might be listening to this. Hayden, I love you. And I do like Star Wars. But in the realm
Star Wars is also a book.
I thought it was. In the realm of things that we've been talking about, for me, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, and then Star Wars is down there. But I will say Marvel, I think, is under Star Wars. I really don't like Marvel.
Yeah,
I can't get into
it's
it.
okay.
I can't get into it.
I just really like Harry Potter. Like, I'm just really, and I know a lot of people would probably be against that because of the witchcraft and wizardry, but it's
There's wizardry in Lord of the Rings.
yeah, and there's some
And Chronicles
some
of
like
Narnia.
super. Some people have their own beliefs, and some people believe that that'd probably be sinful to watch.
Yeah, well,
But I don't.
apparently not.
Don't.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to go to bed. So this has been fun, and if y'all like this, let us know. Leave a comment, share it, like it, all that good stuff. And if you want us to do it again, then send questions. We'll maybe try it.
Just let us know. Maybe next time we can do actually video.
Yeah, we'll try to figure out how to.
I'm making a lot of facial expressions, and people can't see like facial expressions.
Yeah. But
I think that'd be fun to actually see our faces.
If you enjoyed it, let us know. If you have questions, let us know. It doesn't have to be relationship stuff. We can talk about anything. We're both very opinionated people.
And I'm fully prepared if someone's going to listen to this and come up to me in church and said, "Kayla, you're wrong." I'm prepared. Not really.
It'll happen. It happens to me every Sunday. All right. We'll see y'all when we see you.
All right. Thank you.
Deeper in the Word is proud to be part of the Ministry League network of podcasts. You can support the Ministry League network by liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos.